HarperCollins and HarperAudio present The White Lady, a novel by Jacqueline Winspear, performed by Orlagh Cassidy. In memory of the wonderful writer and teacher, Barbara Abercrombie, who died in 2022. Barbara was a UCLA Writers Program Distinguished Instructor and my dear friend. And remember, where you have a concentration of power in a few hands, all too frequently men with the mentality of gangsters get control. History has proven that. John Dalberg Acton, Lord Acton, 1834 to 1902. Society prepares the crime, the criminal commits it. Vittorio Alfieri, 1749 to 1803. War is a thug's game. The thug strikes first and harder. He doesn't go by rules, and he isn't afraid of hurting people. Anne Morrow Lindbergh, The War Within and Without. Chapter 1. Kent, England, 1947. Every morning as Rose Mackie leaned over the bars of the wooden cot and picked up her 3-year-old daughter, she gave thanks for the cottage. She gave thanks for the roof over her head, and she gave thanks for the fact that she wasn't putting up with Jim's mum and dad, and she wasn't living in a London prefab set among the thousands of other London prefabs built in haste to accommodate families left homeless during 6 years of war. She gave thanks because her little Susie could run across fields in fresh country air, and the child didn't have to wear a scarf over her nose to protect her tiny lungs from the lumpy yellow-green London smog that looked like something nasty the dog had brought up. Just the thought of those pea soupers made Rose feel queasy. A lot of things made Rose feel sick about living in London, the city its dwellers called the Smoke. There was Jim's family, for a start. In fact, his family alone amounted to a good reason not to feel very well at all. But here, now, Jim, Rose, and their precious child were safe, or as safe as they could be. They'd managed to get out of London, exchanging the smoke for the quiet of the country. In the past year, since they had altered the course of their lives, forever, they hoped, Jim had lost that sunken look in his cheeks and those lines of worry that no young man of 25 should feel every time he ran his hand across his forehead. There were no longer dark circles under his pale blue eyes, and he didn't startle every time wind rattled the window panes. They had escaped London. They had run as far as they could from the bomb sites, and more than anything they had dragged themselves out from under the fingernails of the Mackie family. It had been a miracle, the way things had fallen into place. Rose even thought her mum, dad, and brothers must all be helping from what her aunt called the other side. Without doubt, luck had been with Rose, Jim, and their little girl when they stepped off the Victoria to Hastings motor coach in the small village of Shacklehurst, on the winding rural route some 65 miles from London. They had gone only as far as their fare budget would take them. Not knowing quite what to do next, they walked into a tea shop across the street from the bus stop to ask if there was somewhere in the village they could stay for a night or two. In truth, they knew it didn't look as if they were there for just a night or two, what with a couple of suitcases, the child on Rose's hip, wearing half the clothes she had to her name, and a tension in their voices that might as well have announced to everyone in the tea shop that they were not, in fact, on a bit of a holiday. The proprietor gave them a broad smile when they entered her establishment, which was a good start, Rose thought. She had noticed the spotless shop and that the woman was wearing...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?